Right. Here I am. Look at that. Hey, everybody. It's Tuesday. I'm working now. So this is my escape from the work life. I got to tell you guys, it feels really good. It feels really good to finally have a work life and a comic life, a business. So as you guys can see, Dal is still not joining us, but he will be here in March, probably for our first movie review of the year with the lovely ladies of this community, Mandy Michaels and Shannon Kincaid. But speaking of Kincaid, let's bring that mofo in now. Look at that. There he is.
What's
Look at that.
begging for trouble once again?
I love me some Ryan. Ryan hooked me up at MegaCon, and then I threw it back in his face. There's a story behind it. Then we got our friend Dan Tree City from IG. There we go. What's up, Dan?
Hello.
Then we have everybody's favorite dude with the shades. Look at that. Man, he's, you know, that's all you. Just let you know, Ish. I'm keeping my
Stevie Wonder.
100%. That's all you. I didn't want to say anything because I was waiting for you to say something.
What up, y'all?
Yeah. Anyways,
You can
so
say that. You can say that.
what a it's been an interesting week, and the reason why I bring in Ryan, I brought Ryan in is because
It's
Ryan
because
made
of
a
me.
comment.
This whole show is because of me, right?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
this topic is because of you. So somebody posted on the Facebooks, which if you guys don't know yet, Facebook is effing toxic. Facebook can be extremely toxic. I don't know if it's all groups like the Matchbox groups and the Pokemon groups or whatever you want to call it. But man, there's a lot of people out there who love to just hate. I don't know if they wake up and they crack their knuckles, they crack their neck, they have that cup of motor fuel and say, it's time for me to hate everything.
Oh yeah, it's Facebook. That's what it's there for.
It should be called Hate Book, right? Let's be honest.
Let's be real honest. It's
I
just
literally
social media
commented in the
general.
Comic Menu podcast the other day. I didn't point out anyone, but I literally saw a post, 10 posts from one dude. I was like, yo, somebody in here need a Snickers. Because it was like my man was just going in, like really going in, like, okay, yo.
Dude, I'm right here, Ish. You could have told me that off screen.
But but it's true. So the reason what brought this up is someone was already talking shit about the Superman movie before this even came out, and Ryan was basically in the same boat as myself with the whole like, relax, man. How about you just wait till you watch the movie before you're spitting on it? And I brought up the point that back in the day, you only knew a few people who had a chance to watch the movie before it came out. You just happened to know somebody who had a preview. You're right, Jerry. Facebook is for 60 plus, and I'm there, my man. I'm getting there.
I'm going to comment on that.
Yeah. Shout out to my homeboy Jerry. That's my childhood friend since he knew me back when I had hair. That's a long time ago. But anyways, back in the day, you'd be like, oh, I heard so and so got a private screening. Oh, how was it? Oh, it wasn't too bad. And that kind of stayed between you guys and your circle, and that's it. Everybody else would watch it when they came out. But now, because they have these previews and they have these secret screenings, as soon as someone comes out, they whip out their phone and start blasting away. And sometimes they even give spoilers or whatever it is. They will just talk so much shit about the movie that they just saw. Nobody had a chance to see it yet. And there's a lot of influence, people who are very easily influenced to go, yeah, I heard that movie sucks. I'm not going to go spend my money on it. Did you see it? Nope. But I heard.
Yep.
And what gets me is how many movies, and I'm going to propose this to the panel. How many movies have you guys all seen? And you thought to yourself, wait a minute, this is the movie that people told me that sucked ass and don't spend your money? I love this movie. It's fantastic. And if I would have listened to those haters, you would have missed out on a pretty damn good movie. Because we all don't have the same taste. That's the whole thing about being a human being, you morons, is that we all have our own opinions of everything. This isn't 1984. You know,
It isn't.
This isn't Orwell. Well, actually, I take that back. We're getting there. So
Yeah.
you know, it's one of those things that. So
Yo, the guy who doesn't read hits us with the Orwellian concept.
Oh,
Here.
well, boy, I was waiting for Ish to pick up on that.
You just
I have
all over the
the
place.
ish. That's not true. Hold on. I'll show you. Hold on.
Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I've done a lot of work and I've got a lot of weird pictures on my phone, so I got to get the right one.
if
You have a
guys-
picture of him reading?
I
It's better.
actually have a fucking picture of him reading a book.
But can we confirm
my
that he's
God.
reading though? Can we actually
Absolutely-
confirm that
absolutely
he's
not.
reading?
Ryan just broke
He's-
the internet.
He is just giving me a dirty look because my cover didn't catch his eye, so he looked at an old book on the inside. He just looking at pictures.
Listen, Ryan's like, open it up, and pretend you're reading it. But don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it. I said, I don't care, I posted it. Next thing he's like, MegaCon picture dump, and I was like front and center with like
He knew he was gonna post it when
Of
he told
course.
you to pretend you're reading. It was a wrap. It's over.
well, actually, Dan has it above everybody because I actually read the night before Christmas
To the whole internet.
to the whole internet on IG. So on Christmas
It's not a
Eve. So
comic.
that was I still read
It's a
it.
poem.
It's a
I'm with you. It's not a comic. Hold on,
so-
William. I
Yeah.
saw your thing about harassing and bullying artists. You and I can do a show on that one because you get more than anybody that I know, and I can jump in that one with you. But that's not tonight. That's another night.
I will say about
Yeah.
the Superman movie, one of the things that interested me, right? And again, we were talking about Hatebook or Facebook or what have you, which I can't completely hate on Facebook because on some level it can be a really dope medium outside of all the idiots
Sure.
who don't have original ideas and get all of their opinions and all of their news from Facebook, those notwithstanding, right? A lot of times when I see something posted on Facebook, and I saw that post in the Comic Menu podcast, and as a friend, sometimes, you know, sometimes I know, you know, what one of the people who posts on Comic Menu podcast is, and it's something that I was going to post about because I know, you know, very provocative and doesn't give an opinion, just posts and lets people kind of, you know, have their own opinion or what have you. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'll see certain things and I'll be like, you know what? And I'll generally I don't often know if I'm on my main account or on my Comic Sense account, as you may have seen, Caesar. So sometimes I'll post as Comic Sense or I'll post as my main account. And a lot of times, you know, because I know the people who run it, I'll joke around with them. I mean, I've gotten in arguments with people joking around with them. You know, I've gotten on there and said, you know, they were like, what's the worst Marvel movie? And I'll say Endgame. Because I know, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. But then I'll get like 100 people pissed at me. You know what I mean? But anyway, so when I saw that post, I always go check and research. And obviously, because in my position, I have to know certain things or give spec or give an idea. What my comic page is called
hold on.
Comic Sense.
You're a walking almanac, dude. You're a walking almanac.
Well, all right. The blushing comments, you know, listen, I appreciate it, man. What I mean by I have to know certain things is like I always fact check. So I went and read about this so-called showing, right? And I read all the articles on it, and all the articles say that there was a viewing, or there may not have been a viewing. That
Right.
it may actually have happened, or that it may have rumored to have been happening. And it's very
There's no
interesting, right?
confirmed viewings
Right.
as of
There,
yet.
there are no confirmed viewings as of yet, or before any test audience, which didn't matter. And I didn't post that because it's the Comic Menu podcast. And I know, first of all, I'm a friend to them, and I know when they post something, they leave it up to people's, they post it for discussion, for people to talk about it. You know what I mean? Be it one way or the other. So I'm like, okay. But it was interesting how many people sometimes they don't read past go in the
Right.
Dr. Seuss book, Go Dog Go. They don't get to dog, right? They just get to go.
Why are you
And-
telling me to go? Don't tell me what to do.
Right. And it's just boom.
Don't,
You know what I
don't
mean?
freaking tell me what to do. Facebook said so.
Boom. I'm upset. Facebook said this.
Yeah,
This is so
I-
dumb.
I deal
You
with
know
it.
what I mean?
So it's funny. Like I said, Caesar, I was going to comment on that. From that comment that said, it's for the 60 plus, whatever it is. Facebook is for 60 plus. That in there lies some of the problem. There needs to be an age limit on some shit, because I have family members and friends that are old that do not fact check, do not look, and it's even the younger kids that do this same
It's
shit.
just a stream of consciousness.
Right. They're like, well, I saw it on Facebook. Like I have my parents, my youngest son will see something like, Dad, did you know that they're doing this? And I'm like, did you see it on Facebook? Yeah. And I'm like, it's
That's
fucking
dope.
fake. Like, did you look it up? No. I'm like, then it's fucking fake.
Right.
Well, they said, I'm like, especially if it has to do with comic book movies, I'm like, I'm gonna know. I'm gonna know because I knew somebody that was involved, or knew somebody that knows, or hell, some of, especially going to cons. And as much as some of these creators are involved in stuff, they get little inside tips and shit. They'll tell us like, yeah, this is gonna fucking happen. Like, I was there when they did it. So we know certain things. We know certain things are there. We know certain things are fake. So when I see it pop up on Facebook and my kid says something, I'm like, dude, that's not real. But it says, I'm like, but it's not real. Like, did you actually look at it? Did you look beyond Facebook? Did you Google it? No. Same thing with TikTok. I saw a trailer for the next Harry Potter. They're doing the Cursed Child. There's already a trailer. I'm like, yeah, dude, we would have heard that on the concert somewhere.
Well,
That's
Ryan,
huge
and to sort of piggyback on your comment, the whole purpose of these tools is to drive engagement. And
Yeah.
if you read stuff you agree with, you're going to thumbs up it and move on. You're not going to engage. So they feed you stuff to divide us.
bullshit.
Yeah.
they feed you bullshit.
So
to
that
see
you're
who's paying
commenting and you're
attention.
locked in.
The
Yeah.
problem is
It-
with social media, everybody is an expert on everything, and
Yeah.
you didn't even do your
Everything.
homework in high school.
And you
Like,
can't
didn't
have it
you didn't do
in
your
media.
homework in high school, and suddenly you got on social media and you became an expert on everything. And the
Right.
problem is the same social media tool gives you it's a gift and a curse, because you can still use your ability to think critically. You can still jump over to Google and you can just start to fact check some stuff.
Yeah, and I'm one of the biggest dickheads about it now, because somebody will say something and I'm just so over it. Then I'm like, let me guess, you fucking read it on Facebook? Yeah, I'm like, you're so dumb, or like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, I'm not even nice about it anymore. Even like my mom will say something. I'm like, Mom, did you read that shit on Facebook? Yeah.
I used to tell people literally, I used to
believes
say
shit.
to people, yo,
You're like,
don't
Mom,
give
you're
me,
dumb. Why,
Don't
Ryan?
give me a
Why?
meme as your source.
Yeah.
I used to say it all the
That's
time.
not nice.
Don't give me a meme as your source. Memes compel me. They rely on my ignorance. They rely on me being ignorant and not doing anything further than the meme.
I tell you what's even funnier is that my wife knows, because I'm in the know when it comes to certain shit in pop culture. She looks at me and she shows me her phone. She goes, "Do you think this is real?" I said, "No, it's AI." "How do you know?" I go, "Because dogs aren't normally 400 feet tall." Wife. Okay. And plus, it's so obvious it's AI.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like, damn. I'm
Yeah.
like, I know. And with a certain generation who can't tell the difference between something that's AI and not, because trust me, it's getting better. They're getting fooled. So,
Yeah.
you know, when you watch a trailer, and to me, it's obviously fan-made. And they're like, "Oh, how do you know?" I'm like, "Because they're using clips of previous movies that I already saw."
Like how
Yeah, I
Margot
saw that.
Robbie's
That was
butt is
10 years
AI.
ago. That shit came
That-
from Terminator 2.
Right. They showed a new what's the one I saw? Equalizer 4 with John Wick, not John Wick, but Keanu Reeves and Denzel Washington. And she's like,
With scenes
"Oh."
from John Wick.
With scenes of John Wick and old scenes from Equalizer 3. And the thing is, yes, they are making a movie together. You just can't fucking wait for them to release an actual trailer for Equalizer 4. No. Let's get why, as Dan said, to get your algorithm, to get the comments, to get the engagements of people going, "Oh, this is dope. I can't wait to see it." And you're going, "You idiot. You already did see it in 2 different movies. You moron."
Yeah.
You know, pay attention, guys. It's like the 1950s. If it's on TV, it has to be true,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In the 60s,
I
and the
saw it.
70s,
I
and the
saw it.
80s.
Says
I saw it. It was on
you're
the
just about
news.
to enter the Twilight Zone. It's got
It-
to
it
be.
must-
Shit, we're already there. It's just gonna get worse.
So then you start hearing about, well, the reviews for the screening has gone very bad, and James Gunn is losing his mind and is thinking about pulling the movie in general, and people are believing that shit.
Which is
it's
funny.
crazy.
It's even funnier to me because if you scroll down like for 5 minutes, however long, we're all comic people, so I'm sure our feeds are similar, filled with just comic nonsense.
Yes.
If you scroll down for another few minutes, you'll see the exact same picture used that says blaring reviews for first screening of Superman.
Yeah.
It's endgame level, gonna make you cry.
How about
like,
James Gunn
how-
announces 2 movies and 1 animated feature a year because they're so he's so distraught over screenings of Superman that they just announced that they want to do at least 2 movies and an animated feature a year, which I think is too much. But hey, if the DC, I think 2 movies in a DC universe every year is just a lot. But
I think they could pull it off if they do 6 months apart.
okay,
I think people honestly are losing attention span for a movie anyway. Like we're in a TikTok world now. Like when the Superman trailer dropped, everybody saw Crypto, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl. They were losing their shit. They're like, "Oh my god, this is going to be amazing," right? Because it was all in snippets, right? So then they go to a screening. Allegedly, we don't really know, right? And now they need to do some reshoots because they got some bad feedback. I really wonder if it's bad or if it's just people can't lock in anymore and just focus. And
I honestly
absorb.
don't even think there's been an official screening.
I don't even think they're going to reshoot anything because it's all bullshit. Because there's people saying they're going to reshoot.
I don't think so. As far as the attention span on all that, you're not wrong, but I don't think it really has much to do against like people seeing the movies and stuff. My opinion, feel like social media has ruined the want to go see these movies. You know too much about them before it hits the theater.
Spoilers are a
and it's not just that you know too much about them, right? You have the yamens and the naysayers,
right?
I mean, you go to a dope, shout out to the Comment Menu podcast. You go to a dope thread about a movie, there's 500-600 comments.
Right.
50% of them one direction, 50% the other direction. Everybody has an opinion, and so many people are swayed. Listen, the Captain America movie, I don't know how many people said, "Oh my God, this is just garbage. Don't even waste your money." You didn't go see it.
I see. I always wait for my own opinion.
I was just gonna say, as far as the theater though, I just wanted to say really quick.
Yeah.
I watched the Superman trailer when it first appeared on social media to speak to what we're talking about. And then I saw the trailer in the theater for the Captain America movie. And listen, there's a big difference between seeing a trailer on YouTube and on social media and sitting in a theater and actually experiencing and seeing the trailer. Man, my opinion changed. I was really impacted when I saw Crypto, when he homed Crypto. Like, yo, it was awesome. It was really awesome on the big screen when Crypto come. Like, it was awesome.
See now, like I read Jerry's comment. People want original ideas for movies. Yes, for comic book movies, no.
No.
People want movies that we've read. People want comic accurate movies. Comic book fans, I should say, want comic accurate movies.
And just to be honest with you, original idea movies, I'm going to keep it real with you.
They're bombing too.
They don't fill up theaters.
No.
They don't. They're hits. They win Academy Awards, but they don't fill up movie theaters. Movie theaters don't fill up. They fill up with popcorn sellers. Engines that sell popcorns is what fills movie theaters. And that's just what it is.
J-Rob, your camera's good, man. If you keep
Yeah,
shaking
Rob,
it, I'm going to get motion
it
sickness.
was good.
Oh my
You don't
God.
have the background this
Oh
time
my
around.
God! Why don't you?
Yo, it's always something different with this guy.
It's like fucking Blair
Now
Witch,
it's frozen.
and it freezes.
Now
Wow!
At least now I
Hey,
can
somebody
put a face
screenshot
name
this.
with
We need to
J-Rob.
screenshot.
I'm not frozen.
You were fro. How you gonna
You
tell
were
us?
frozen.
Now your internet's jacked.
Oh
So it
my
looks like
Lord.
everybody here is at least in the same age range that can
22. Yeah.
agree. Yeah, we're all 22ish.
Yeah.
Agree with this. Like growing up, when we were going to see a movie, we got a trailer. You found out about that movie by going to see another movie, and you might have got like a news clip here and there. That was cool. That was that was awesome. Like when I started getting like hyped about things was like Wizard magazine. You'd get the casting and you'd get a picture here and there, and that was fucking it until you saw the trailer.
Or remember Starlog, stuff like that.
Yeah, you got very minimal exposure. You just knew it was happening at some point. And then you went to a movie and you saw the trailer. And then you called your friends. Were like, dude, go fucking see T2 because the Incredible Hulk trailer is in it. Or go see this movie because the fucking trailer was Blade. Who cared about the movie at that point? You wanted to see the trailer.
So what are we doing now?
If you see what DJ is saying, like the Superman trailer in the theater was totally different. Just to speak to like
Yeah.
that's where you get it. It's
Well,
a
I believe
different
it.
feeling for you when you're in a
I believe
theater.
it.
I'm talking to what you're saying. Like it's just a
Well,
different feeling because
yeah.
it's all we got back then, right?
And then back in the day, a trailer was exactly that. It was a trailer. It was a minute trailer, minute 25-second trailer, and that's it. Now trailers are 2 minutes and 30 seconds. They're showing stuff. If you're smart, you can realize, oh, great. Now I'm going to be expecting for so-and-so to get blown up. Now I'm going to be expecting for that house to get blown up. So when you watch the movie, you're kind of going like, now they're really good at fooling us.
Right.
Sometimes, right?
And that part I still like.
They did that with Spider-Man, the last
Or
one.
Spider-Man, Endgame.
Whatever.
They show us certain things, but it's
right.
missing.
Remember the part where they're all launching, but they don't show who they're fighting against. It was like a blank screen. So there's good ways, and there's stuff that they show in the trailer that never come out in the movies, and vice versa. So I'm okay. I'm okay with just teasers, and let me just enjoy the movie. I don't want to see too much, and then the longer the trailer, the more the haters you get.
Right.
And that's what it is. And
then unfortunately for us, as soon as the movie's actually out, the night it comes out, you get everybody posting about either, like Ish said, either how great it was or how awful it was.
Right.
And the people that think it's awful just go right and ruin it. They're like, this movie sucked. I can't believe they would do this. Like somebody on my feed, and he's not a comic book person. He's just a friend from back in my old hometown. Very patriotic dude, and was so pissed at what they did in Captain America to a certain character that he threw it out there. He's like, why would you ever allow this to happen in a movie? Boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, good job, Slick. Like we are. Then now I already know. I already know what happens. Good job.
Before you decide,
like just say you fucking hate it and move on.
I can't even imagine what he would be talking about as a patriot and a former military member. I didn't experience anything that made me think.
He could have. And I'll message you separately. I haven't seen it yet. Part of my problem is I don't go to the movies a lot anymore because of stuff online. I just lose there's no excitement for me to go. By the time it comes out, I'm already tired of reading about it. I'm already tired of hearing people bitch and whine about it. I'm already tired of people trying to spoil it or throw fake news or throw fake teasers, trailers, fake characters, whatever. I'm like, I'll wait till it comes out. I'm not gonna go.
I just want to
I
say
mean,
to your friend, and I don't nothing personal to your friend, but to that mentality, it's
Oh,
a
he's stupid.
movie. It's a movie. You're
Yeah, right.
supposed to be able to suspend your disbelief. You're
Right.
supposed to be able to get lost in a world where something that would not happen in your
Right.
reality could very well happen in this movie reality.
Oh, don't worry, dude. I texted him. I was like, where were you pissed off when they blew up the White House in Independence Day? You thought that shit was rad as hell.
You know what cracks me up? What cracks me up is like when people make a comment, they go see like a DC movie or a Marvel movie. I mean, I could see a comment like this if you go see Oppenheimer or some shit like historical movie or like, but I love when they leave like Captain America. That's not realistic. What?
No shit. None of what we do is realistic. I love that.
To make a
I
joke.
love that response.
Yeah.
It's totally illogical for this to happen. And a fucking dude should not have knives coming out of his hands either. But
Yeah,
sure,
right.
let's
So
throw
unrealistic.
logic into the X-Men movie.
yeah, it makes it drives us. Listen, I'll say it again, and I'll say it till I turn blue. Movies are meant for you, like Ish said, to be able to sit there and forget about the outside world for an
Escape.
hour and a half to 2 hours. That's what it is.
Be entertained.
If you leave that movie angrier than you were when you went in, then there's something going on with you, my brother.
Yeah, you're doing movies wrong.
You're doing movies wrong. You're supposed to come out of the movies either kind of like, wow, that was great, or man, that sucked, But that's all it is. But if you come out going, oh my God, your veins are popping out and you're freaking the fuck out and you're calling up your buddies going, you won't believe what the hell happened. You're watching
the
movies.
only reason people should be mad when they leave a movie is after Dune when they didn't get that fleshlight popcorn bucket that everybody was trying to get. You know what I'm talking about? That's the only reason.
I'm gonna tell you what we're leaving on the table, and it's not fair to just blame social media. You also have to blame fandom, right? Because we can only have these conversations about movies that have fan bases, and I don't mean just comic book movies. I mean like Twilights and Harry Potters. And the problem is, for a long time, right, fandom films were not the things that pushed Hollywood forward. So you got a one here and there, blah, 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 blah. And when you got it, what you got was this fan who sat in the movie theater and he told everyone who didn't know about, well, this character would never do that. And this character is this character. Because we, for a long time, before we got spoiled with it, we felt like we own these characters. And we even got mad at somebody for liking this version of the character that wasn't the way the character was in the Lord of the Rings book or the Harry Potter book. Like, no, that's not really who they were. If you read the book, and it took me a long time, me personally. It took me some years to really sit down and be like, yo, I can enjoy this outside of the original medium that it came from. Right. I can look at it for what it is and enjoy it. And say, okay, I can still go back to my Harry Potter book, which I've never read, or, you know what I mean? My Anne Rice Vampire Lestat book, and enjoy that, and still enjoy Interview with the Vampire and television series, or still enjoy the movie for what it is. Right. And I think we as fans in fandom, we feel entitled. And that sense of entitlement leads us, it drives our opinion. So many people get mad, they want to fight. It's so visceral. Right.
So the only time that I do any of that is at cons and stuff, when I'll draw like a character and they're like, well, that's not what they look like. That's not what they look like in the movies. Why did you make up your own version? And I just do like, well, I mean, because there was a way they looked before they were on the screen.
Ryan, these are the same people. These are the same people with their fingers covered in Cheeto dust, yelling at the TV screen at their sports players that aren't performing like they should expect them to perform. Just
100%.
You know what I mean? 100%. That's the same people.
Diageo, I think that you're right about Marvel spoiling us, only to agree in that first wave, right? Because I think that, and shout out to fandom, I think we overhyped 50% of Marvel movies in the first wave. Half were good, half weren't. And I think we just were so happy to get spoiled by this wave of movies. Like, come on, man, Iron Man 2, Thor 1, Thor 2. Like, come on. Like, really, these are movies no one is going back to watch now.
I mean, I watch them all the time.
Iron Man 2?
All of them.
Why do you
Yo,
keep shitting on Iron Man 2? I love that movie.
Why is he still here, Caesar? He didn't get a timeout.
Oh my God, it was such a
Is it
good
because he's
movie.
Ryan Kincaid? Like,
You know what? But I gotta be honest. I mean, Ryan is my homeboy, but I don't mind Iron Man 2.
Why are you still
Iron Man
here,
3,
Caesar?
I'm with you. Iron Man 3.
Why are you still here, man? You don't get it. Do you ever put yourself on timeout? Is it just
So
what
I
are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
and Caesar's gone.
Yeah. You put himself in
I
timeout.
can.
Thor.
And we lost J-Rob again. Did he
Thor
just
was
say
Yeah.
good. Was Thor good? Are we gonna
movie?
say Thor was good? Or are we gonna say we were excited to get Thor?
No! Come on, let's be honest. When we saw listen,
Who was the villain in the first
hold,
one?
hold on,
Who was
hold
the
on,
villain?
hold on,
Thor
hold on,
was.
hold on. When we saw at the end of, what was it, Captain America, Iron Man, the very first, our first post-credit scene we've ever existed.
No,
And they
Hulk was the
showed-
first post-credit scene. We got
Which
Iron
Hulk?
Man at the end of Hulk. We're
The
putting
Edward
together
Norton
a
one?
team.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Edward
Oh,
Norton.
okay, you're right. But how many of us, when we first saw Iron Man, and they showed the hammer stuck in the rock? Was that?
Caesar?
I think it was it Iron Man?
Caesar, who was the villain in the first Thor movie?
It was.
I mean, it's
it was Warmonger, wasn't it? You said
It's a
Iron
big-
Man, right?
It's a big robot that no one ever remembers. Like, it was
Tell me, it was Warmonger, wasn't it?
I guess.
or-
Is that his name?
No, Ironmonger.
Is
Yeah, Iron
that its name?
That's its name.
you said in the
That's-
first Thor movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ironmonger's
that's
not in Thor, homeboy.
Okay.
No.
Not you,
Oh,
him.
wait a
The
minute.
other homeboy.
Can I rest
Wait a
my
minute.
case? Can I
Wait a
just
minute.
rest my case here?
Yeah, rest
None
your
of
case.
us can name the villain in the first Thor movie. We just know it's a big robot.
Oh, the first.
The Destroyer.
That's the Destroyer.
Yeah.
Dan is the Google guy though. He's got the cards. He's
yeah.
hold the little books over there.
Look at-
Hold on.
Got his
Let me,
notes.
let me
But Dan-
continue.
I
Dan's
just want to
cheating,
see
like-
how long he could try and spit off villains from other movies because I know it's the Destroyer because essentially Iron Man should have made a Destroyer suit. But
But that wasn't the villain anyway. The villain was Loki in the Thor movie. That was the real villain. He unleashed the Destroyer. He did. I
But
mean,
Well,
he
yeah,
because he
yeah.
was the villain of the whole first story arc, though. The whole first Avengers arc, up into him getting out.
Loki,
Yeah,
But-
Loki.
but now I mean Thor wasn't that bad. Some of this it had some bad points.
No.
Thor-
When I say
Thor
that, when I
looked
say
ridiculous.
50% were good and 50% were bad, we
But I
can't
could-
put
but I could
Thor
still
and
watch
Iron Man 2 next to Iron Man,
No.
next to Captain America
No,
Civil
no,
War.
no.
Like, we
Of course
can't
not.
put them
No.
even. You
No.
know what I mean?
So how about good and great? Because they're not really bad.
I agree. Agreed.
There are some bad ones,
There's some
but
bad
there's a
ones.
lot of good ones. There's
Maybe
a few
Eternals.
great ones. Like Thor
I
wasn't bad. It was good, but it was not great. Iron Man, great. Civil War, great. Or not Civil War. Winter Soldier, great.
Thor Ragnarok was great.
But that was the
That's one of my
third
top.
movie.
Yeah.
I know. Look how long it took him to get it right. Because the second one's atrocious. As a matter
It's
of
the
fact,
worst.
I don't even remember the second one.
It was so bad. Ant-Man
I don't know
1
which one.
was really bad.
The
Iron
Dark
Man or
Elf.
Thor?
Thor 2 was the
2.
worst.
The Dark
It was-
World.
The Dark World with the Dark Elf.
Yeah,
and-
I can
I
still
feel
watch
like
it.
I feel like I go to the movies with the goal, like I go to the movies and I with the hope to be entertained, and 98% of the time I leave entertained.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. The only time I wasn't entertained, and I'm going to really throw this out there, is the last Thor movie. I just was just like, I found myself shaking my head a lot.
The
When
only
if
reason
do
I leave
that-
a movie theater sore is I think what Ryan was talking about before we started the show is like going to a football game. It's getting crazy expensive, all the accoutrements and stuff. But other than that, I'm locked in. I'm locked into these movies. I love them. I live in the real world. I want to escape it.
It also depends what kind of movie you're going into.
Movies aren't expensive to me.
If you're coming out.
I'm telling you, those popcorn buckets are expensive.
Listen, it's
Are you going by
$15.
yourself, Ish?
I go by myself. I sit in the
Yeah,
handicap
that's
row.
See, I don't have that luxury. If I say I'm going to the movies, all my kids are like,
Amen,
"Where are
Ryan.
we going?"
Listen, I have my dog tags out every time. I bring my coffee. I bring my snacks. They look at my dog tags and they don't say anything. I think they feel bad. I'm not buying anything. I think
See,
they
now
just
when
feel
I go to the
bad
movie
that
theater,
you're
it's a
not going to
different
tell a
experience. Ice
veteran
comes
you
in,
can't
tries to
have your
take me out.
coffee.
and plus, he comes in with his sunglasses, those dark glasses on. They're not going to say shit to Ish.
They're just making sure that he keeps those sunglasses on and he ain't trying to beat him up. He's like, there's a reason Ish is wearing sunglasses inside a movie theater.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
I
do have
go
a
in the movie
swagger,
theater. I'm
listen.
Lebanese. I get a cavity
He's
check
your
before I walk in the
swagger.
front door. They pat me down.
Yeah, so
Look,
this is the
I
thing.
come from South LA. We call that just sit on the other side of the theater from that guy right there. Okay?
He's right in the center, and everyone's around him just off watching.
Listen, I don't
the worst
smell like a cloud of
seats.
marijuana anymore. That was 2018, but I used to definitely smell like a whole cloud. Like, yo.
So let's go back. How excited? Because I remember when I saw that hammer of Thor there, and everyone's all trying to get it out in the post credit. I was like, here comes Thor. Fuck yeah! Right? Here comes the Avengers. They're gonna slowly bring in the Avengers. I was excited for that stuff, and now you would hear stay for the end. Oh yeah, stay to the end. They'll just tell you stay to the end. Now they're like, stay to the end. You're gonna see it's Thor's hammer stuck on the thing. You're like, oh great.
Yeah.
I didn't mark for Thor. I didn't mark for any of those characters. And I just want to make it clear when I say half bad, half good. There is not a Marvel movie that hasn't come out that in retrospect, I still wouldn't go to the theater and watch for the first time. Every one of them. And would leave, even though I thought some of them were bad. I'm gonna leave feeling good because of that same spoiled feeling that DJ was talking about earlier. I'm just happy that I got these movies.
Right.
You know what
And
I
I
mean?
think
And I
that's
wasn't
part of
marking
my
for Thor.
mentality.
But this is the thing about the human being.
We
My
can't
buddy
be
Jerry's,
happy with what we got.
but my buddy Jerry's saying, hey, he fell into a deep sleep when he last time I saw a Marvel movie. But this is yet a guy who will watch Hunt for Red October 25 times at a movie theater. So where I can only watch it once and that's it. So that's the whole thing is we like what we like. What one person finds completely boring, I'm popping a tall boy. What I find completely boring, the other guy is writing a dissertation of how beautiful and how great it is. So movies are so subjective, just like art. I mean, like Ryan said it. People look at him and go, "Why are you drawing him like that? It doesn't look good." And the guy sitting
Really
next to
hard
him,
trilogy.
then the guy next to him going, "I love that rendition, Ryan. It's fucking great."
Right.
So,
But Jerry, do you feel like the whole trilogy? Because Hunt for Red October is dope. I could pass on Patriot Games. I could pass on Clear and Present Danger. I don't get
really?
like I could pass on all of that.
I like Clear and Present Danger.
I don't like the change of the main character.
My God.
Is
what
that
are
when they changed from when they changed the Jack Ryan character, yeah?
Yeah, I think it was Jack Ryan. I just know that Hunt for Red October to me, I never understood Patriot Games. I was too young probably. It was just never too much. It was too much.
Patriot Games is cool. I like all those.
You like
What are
Hunt
you
for Red
saying?
October?
I want to ask Ryan a question. I want to pivot and I want to ask Ryan a question because I've been thinking about this when I knew I was going to be on and talking to him, and I want to ask this question. I think I read somewhere that you said you started drawing around 6 or 7.
Yep.
When did you think you were going to make a career out of this? I mean, obviously not at 6 or 7, but
When he was
when did you
five.
think I could? I mean, like
When he was 4, right?
I
In the
was
womb.
born with a pencil in my hand. Except for my parents, and even they, they have their worries, their parents. I was actually always discouraged from everybody else I knew of trying to get into the art world as a career. Like I never had any teachers that were like, pursue this, you're great, so I never really assumed I was going to draw as a career. I always just wanted to draw. It was a hobby. I just, as long as I had fun, I didn't really care. It wasn't until I met, and I posted about this. I met Dan Penosian and
Mm.
J. Scott Campbell at a convention when 18 years ago, and I'm a huge J. Scott Campbell fan, still am. I met him, was starstruck. It's the first time I ever went to a con. Such a nice guy. Saw my work and was like, keep it up. Probably as nice as he could be of not, as many people
breaking your
shoved work
dreams.
into his face.
Yeah.
And right next to him was Dan Penosian, and my wife grabbed my portfolio and was like, check this out. Like, my husband loves drawing. He doesn't think he could do anything with it. Like, what do you think? And Penosian was the first one that was like, dude, you should do comics. Like, I did more cartoony stuff. I did more Disney type stuff. And he's like, do you like comics? I was like, yeah, I love comics. Like, I, named off different people that I would at the time was studying, and Dan was the one that said you should try comics. Like, I can help you out. Thinking that he was again just being nice, like I reached out to him later, and he pointed me in the right directions of people and helped, like, got me small gigs and stuff. And at that point, I was like, well, shit, maybe I can actually do this. I was running a bar in North LA County for a long time, and they were very supportive of me, but I learned lots of business stuff from them. It was a family owned place. They taught me how to make a business out of myself.
Hmm.
So at that point I was like, okay, not only can I draw, but I could probably do this on my own and make a career out of not just drawing but selling my own stuff as well.
So you were well into adulthood by this time.
Oh yeah, I was like 28 when I really started.
The reason why I asked, and the reason why I came out of the gate with that question was because, not to turn this into a therapy session, but growing up, I grew up in a very practical family. Like you, nobody would have ever encouraged me to follow a passion. Like it was like, keep your head down, work hard, get a high paying job, do
Right.
that. Right. And I really am just grateful for the work that you do to spur imagination, to be creative. It's a grind. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
grind.
Oh yeah. It's I was telling Caesar before the show, like it's always a constant change. You have to adapt every year. We're having to adapt depending on how we run our own career. Again, I've always drawn. Again, I was drawing since I was 6. I did art competitions. I used to, instead of signing people's yearbooks, I would draw Disney stuff on the back of their yearbooks or movie stuff on the back of the yearbooks. To the point where people will post those on Facebook, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it, but can you please take that down? Like, I was 12. Like, take it. It looks like garbage. Take it down. And my parents were very supportive. My dad, I would paint on my walls. My dad would go buy me paint. I didn't get in trouble. He bought me paintbrushes. Paint all over your walls. Do whatever you want. They were
Caesar,
very
can you
supportive.
send me the
of
link?
art
I'm sorry,
itself.
so I could post it to my page.
You gonna what? Stick a
What?
post-it to your face?
I want to post this show to my page, and I need Caesar to send me the link.
I already sent it to your page.
You sent me. Oh, you posted it to my page?
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know how this one works either, so don't worry about it.
You posted the
you know-
show to my page?
Yeah, fool. Damn.
Damn.
Okay. Okay.
So I tell you what, these guys, and I say these as in Ryan and Ish, they've been one of the very few who are very lucky to do what they love and get paid for it.
Yeah.
Ish running the Comic Sense, running now a brick and mortar. He's so knee deep in it, and he loves it. And Ryan, who draws. That's all he wanted to do is making a living for it. Kudos to those who just said, "Screw it, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to succeed, and I'm going to fall, and I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to fall, and I'm going to get back up, and eventually I'm going to fall less."
Screw it.
And-
I'm gonna do it.
I'm just gonna do it.
That's a t-shirt waiting to happen ish.
Yo,
Right.
yo, for
And
real.
I gotta tell you, I mean, it's stuff like me when I was younger. I wanted to write, sing, and act.
And
And
read.
you're like, well, you were in the right place. Oh, not read. Write, but not read.
Yeah, well,
Is
you
that
got to
funny?
be able to read to write, homie.
Isn't
You
that funny?
already failed.
And the best writers read.
Well, that's why I'm not a writer. So, but you know, they're like, "Oh, you're in the right town." I grew up in LA, and I'm like, forget it. I don't feel like waiting tables for 25 years. You know?
What
So
part of LA did
I-
you grow up in?
I was in Wilmington, man. I was next to Carson, next to Long Beach.
Okay.
I was next to Lomita. I was in South
Huntington.
Bay. I was.
How did
so
J Rob
you-
end up in the comments and not in the?
Because J Rob's a fool. See, J Rob, you kept on playing with the damn thing, and that's how you broke it. He just sent me a thing saying I'm out. I'm gonna watch it on Facebook. Good, because he was getting me. It felt like I was watching Blair Witch Part 7 when he jumped on.
I always get motion sickness. J-Rob
So-
gonna see me throw up.
So it is so cool to have people who get paid to do what they love, and there's a young up and coming group of youngins now who, you know, they want to be an Ish and own their comic book books, and they want to be a Ryan who you know. does
I
covers
just
now.
don't think again, I don't mean to poo-poo anybody's dream because that's not what we're here to do. But
No.
I don't think anybody fully appreciates what it takes to run. I mean, like when you have your own business, your own publishing company, your own comic shop, you have another kid. It's like a kid you've got to constantly babysit.
It's a fucking needy kid, that's for sure.
It's a needy, hungry kid. And if you don't show up one day, that kid's going to cry and you ain't getting paid. I mean, I just don't I grew up in a family with small business. And again, I think anybody can do it if they got the wherewithal and the hustle, but it's not for the weak.
It's tough.
No.
I was listening to someone on YouTube say, and it was just the truth. It's one of those YouTube ads that come on when you're watching a video. And the girl is like, yeah, you know, it one of the worst decisions financially that someone can make is starting a business. And especially when it's your brand, right? Like your baby, your brainchild, your thing that, you know what I mean? Like your thing, like your concept, the thing that came from your head that, you know, did not exist, whatever it is, a writing, a piece of art, a drawing, whatever it is that you create that's yours, that thing that you just love the most, that, you know, fails, it dies with you.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to care about it more than you.
Right.
Nobody is going to want to see, nobody, no matter how many people are willing to show up to support you at the end of the day. And it is just the case. At the end of the day, nobody is, and it should be that way, right? Nobody should be expected to feel more strongly about it than you. It can be tough.
This is probably a question for Ish as much as Ryan, honestly. But like, how does the hobby change for you now that it's a business?
For me?
For Ryan,
Ryan's got an answer ready. So
yeah.
I mean, luckily, I still love draw. I mean, we're sitting here, and I'm still drawing. I draw when I wake up.
Jesus.
I draw
You know
when
what,
I
Ryan,
wake
that's
up.
not really that good. You should mail that to me and start over.
Okay. I mean, you want that one instead?
I love it, dude. You're so amazing.
I draw when I wake up, when I'm drinking coffee, talking with my wife. We plan out our day and stuff. I come to my office and I draw damn near all day, or, you know, she ships stuff out, or I'm talking to other artists, retailers, because part of it is, you know, we're self-publishers. So I have overstock of books. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get rid of some of these books. I need to reach out to some shops or some retailers and stuff. Like, hey, do you want to buy a bundle of books? I'll send out, you know, a bunch of my stuff. Some of it is guys trying to open shops or get a new following. And I'm like, here, I'll send you a package just so some of my stuff is in your shop. Maybe you'll gain some customers, and maybe I'll gain some fan base. And you know, I have teenage boys. I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. So we do the parenting thing. And then, you know, stuff like this. Caesar hits me up. You want to go live tonight? All right. I come right back. I start drawing again. I talk to you guys. After this, I might go live and do some live sales. There's very rarely a day that I can't stand it. There's days where I get drawer's block and I just can't do what I want to do, but there's not really a day that I'm just angry at what I have to work on.
That's awesome.
So to me, it's a working hobby.
So for me, it was really tough.
That's a blessing.
For me, it was tough, right? Because there's a business model here that I kind of wanted to be successful. So for me, it was from the hobby perspective, right? As someone who enjoyed reading, really reading and being immersed in that world in comics, you know what I mean? It definitely improved for me in that, like, okay, so being a retailer, like I'm an insider, right? Like I can get any comic I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You only got mine.
Yo, we got to talk about that so I can get Ryan Kincaid.
There you go.
Seriously.
Dan, not a problem.
I can get any comic that I want on FOC for half, cost, and any of the, I can get all of that. But not only that, like I'm an insider, right? And so for me, and I don't do anything conventionally, right? Like I don't do anything conventionally. Shout out to John Brugman. Shout out to Western New York, by the way, the local artist. Love John. So for me, I don't do anything conventionally, right? I started out with an online presence. I don't know how shops or any shop, I don't care if you're a restaurant anywhere, I don't know how you're not online and don't have an online presence in the 21st century, like period. You know what I mean? So for me, it was like, okay, we're going to do it this way. We're going to be online. We're going to, not even necessarily sell online. My brick and mortar is online. I mean, I have a brick and mortar, but obviously, my presence online is stronger than anything walking. If no one ever walks in. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Like for me, the conventional methods of doing things, I didn't even, we did this for, I don't know, a couple years without ever, we just paid our company 100%. You know what I mean? So for me, it was kind of a passion thing. It was kind of fun. It was like, and so the fun is increased. I get to be Ish. I get to come on Comic Menu Podcast and, you know what I mean? I have all this credibility that I didn't know I had until, I come on these podcasts, and I'm always humbled when, so for me, it's like, oh, wow. It's not just that, my hobby, me reading comic books and specking on comic books turned into me having, an online business and then a brick and mortar, into me having, kind of being an online personality. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I get 100%. A lot of, it's like, wow. You know what I mean? So yeah, I love it. I'm always humble. People always make me blush. You know what I mean? I'm always hearing somebody tell me, you're the reason I collect comics, or I get messages in my inbox from people I don't know. Hey, can you look at this book? Or do you think I should buy this? Or do you da-da-da-da-da? So it always humbles me. That's how it's changed for me. It's put me in a position that I
got mad
respect.
I got mad respect for you both. I mean, Ryan and Ish. I mean, I'm just telling you. I mean, Ryan, I give it to you. Like I said, I'm so appreciative. When I look at art, I have I guess I would say the luxury of just having to pay for it.
Abby.
Right? That's all I got to do is spend the money and get it.
I got into comics by luck and hard work. It's like Ish said, even starting this, it's not fucking easy. It's not for the faint of heart.
I have a question though, Ryan, really quick. You said you said that you studied certain artists. Did you read before you, like, were there things that you read? Like, what did you like? What did you read?
So I don't have favorites, and I didn't have a lot of books growing up. I had the Secret Wars run, the original run, when I was little. I remember having them, and I remember drawing off of those pages, like, the first symbiote suit and stuff, to the point where the pages fell apart. I just recently started getting those issues back. Like I have, I have that one signed by Shooter.
I just found one signed by Shooter.
Yeah,
a week ago in my shop.
Yeah, I just got one signed by Shooter a couple years ago when I was in New Hampshire. And I just, people flip all those books, and good for them. I'm sure
Shooter's one tall ass mofo.
He's a big dude.
Is it really? He is a big guy.
Oh yeah, he's a big guy. And it's funny because I get the weirdest books that I collect, and when I tell you like what I studied and what I learned, you'll laugh because I've gotten those books back over the years, and I still have the original ones torn to shreds from learning how to draw certain things. The Secret Wars was the first one, and I have that one signed by Shooter because I found it. I wanted those books back. They mean something to me. I went through a phase where, like most kids, you get to an old point where, if you read comic books, your friends think you're a dork and they make fun of you and all this stuff. So I didn't have a lot of books at the time. Plus, we didn't have a lot of money. At that point, I was collecting comic cards, all the Marvel masterpieces and the X-Men flair. So I was learning how to draw
The old
posters.
Impel cards.
Yeah, all of that. I couldn't buy comics, so I'd get cards. My dad would buy me random packs here and there, my grandparents, and I would study and draw the cards, not knowing, like, at the time, like, hey, this whole X-Men set was drawn by Jim Lee.
Mm.
Hey, this whole set is, Joe Jusko and the Hildebrands and all this stuff. I learned that later on as I really dove into it. When I got back into comics, it was Joe Madureira, Humberto Ramos, Ed McGuinness. I really liked the Blackest Night run, the Reign of Superman. I read that, and did all that stuff. Dan Jurgens and all those guys. So I had tons of different influences growing up on what I read. And I still collect. I still go to the comic book shop every Wednesday. I pick up books that either my friends wrote or drew, or it's my favorite artist. My walls are lined with,
Do you have a pull file?
Do I have a pull file?
Yeah.
Like a pull box?
Like a pull box you pull on Wednesdays, like different titles?
No, I just go because, again, I'm the worst collector because I couldn't tell you what's coming up next and what issues or what. Most people, when they ask for covers and stuff, or this even relating to movies, like, hey, this scene from Thor Love and Thunder, this was in this issue. And I'm like, what fucking issue is that? And they'll show me the book. I'm like, oh yeah, I read that one. I don't remember numbers.
Yeah.
Part of it is dyslexia. I can't remember numbers for shit. The other is I know art. I don't know the name of stuff. I have like X-Men Omega, Age of Apocalypse Alpha and Omega graded on my walls, and those are probably worth like what, $10, maybe. Yeah. Battle Chaser, not Battle Chaser. I have Battle
really
Chaser
cool
too,
books,
but
though.
like Cliffhanger, the original Cliffhanger, I got those ones signed. I have the dumbest shit ever.
No way, brother. You got to read what you love, man. I mean, that's what it is.
There's no such thing as dumb.
Well, no, it's not. But people are always
enjoy.
like, "Why did you grade that?" I'm like, "Because it means something to me."
Because it means something to you.
Yeah.
Like there's books that just mean something to me.
Yeah.
When I put books on my wall, listen, I got tons of books. I got key books, really valuable collection. But the things that Last Unicorn, because it impacted my life as a kid.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Very important. You know what I mean? So like Last Unicorn is IDW run. That's going on my wall.
Yeah.
My the Psychic Girl. Nobody ever heard of
No.
My the Psychic Girl, which is the first indie book I ever read that really impacted me as a kid. You know what I mean?
That's what I do. And that all can go back to this whole related topic that we're all talking about. The reason why we go and see what we see, the movies that we see, why we watch all these movies that people would say are terrible, is we grew up on this stuff. Like, it means something to us. I saw this, like, even the animated movies, man, when DC was, running all these animated movies. I had a little cheat code because I grew up with Bruce Timm's nephew. So I knew certain things were coming. I didn't know how involved Bruce Timm was until, again, I got a little older and was like, oh, fuck, you're that Bruce Timm. Like, you're like a legend. Okay. But like Justice League, the animated cartoon, I saw that drawn in sidewalk chalk at his mom's house.
Wow.
But that's like,
I need that block of sidewalk.
Yeah. I mean, I have some pretty interesting things we collected over the years of knowing the family. But like I said, I love the Reign of Superman. So when it's not going to be in the movies anytime soon. but they did that animated movie, The Death of Superman, and then The Reign of Superman. And whether people said it sucked or not because they changed certain parts of it, they changed the look of some of the characters. I thought it was fucking awesome because what I was reading as a teen has now come to life. And I look at all the movies in that same sense. Like even the Sony movies that everybody just wants to just destroy. I take away the aspect that they had ever any involvement in Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, it's just a movie.
He
It's
was
just
good
an
until that.
entertainment
He
movie.
was good, Caesar, until he got to the Sony.
Well, you know, Ryan can't be perfect all the time. You know the thing.
It
but
is
this
an
the-
entertaining movie.
But
Some of
Ryan
them are
has
entertaining, but
Ryan has
they're
a point.
not comic book.
Now Ryan has a point.
Were you entertained by Madam Web?
Oh, please.
No,
No.
no.
I can't.
No.
All right. Listen,
I haven't seen Craven, so I can't jump on that one. I didn't mind the first Venom,
See, I
regardless of
thought
what he looked
Craven
like.
was really good.
I just
I'm
kind of I
kidding.
try
I'm
to take
joking.
like
Ish is so disgusted. I'm kidding. I'm just joking.
so Ish, do you have kids?
I have an adult.
So you had kids.
Yes.
Okay.
My daughter's 30.
All right. Well, this may not pertain to you. May or may not. So when they redid the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, the Ninja Turtle fan in me was like, what the fuck did they do?
They filmed it. They filmed a large portion here in Buffalo on the
Yeah.
expressway.
That's derailing the point, Ish. But
But no, that's actually
congratulations.
part of the answer right there.
Way to name drop
He
some
really
shit.
feels some type of way about
Way
this
to name
movie.
drop some shit.
Okay,
Same thing
Bruce
with-
Tim.
Same thing with the Transformers.
Okay, Bruce Tim.
That was good. See, this is why me and Ish get along.
That was pretty good.
Same thing with the Transformers when you first see Bumblebee. Like the adult in me, like the kid loving Transformers was like, that's not fucking Transformers, dude. Like, what the fuck is this? I realized the moment I watched those movies in the theaters with my kids that some of these movies aren't fucking for us. They're not made for us. They're made for the new generation.
I
We're
love
gonna-
you. This is
We're
why we
gonna
get
go.
along.
We're gonna pay the movie to see it with our kids and watch our kids' faces light up the same way our parents watched our faces light up.
I
They don't
just
give a
said
shit
this the
about what
other
I
day
do. They
on-
want them.
I just said exactly what you saying on Instagram the other day. I said, or excuse me, on Facebook, I said GTFOH. Because I just have a problem with some people's reactions to some of the things that we're given. Like everything isn't for us, and that's okay.
Right.
Like it's
Ninja
it's
Turtles was not
okay.
for us.
That is not
Transformers
for
was
me.
not for us.
Do you think the movies of our youth was for our parents?
No.
No.
Not in. I mean, it depends.
Let's be honest. There was a lot of movies that were made for kids that our parents took us because that's the only way we're going to watch the movies is for the parents to take me. Now, my parents were cheap. I went with friends. They never took me.
Right. But you have a different set of things now. Like when we were kids, when we were going to the movies, we didn't have this nostalgia thing. Like movies weren't nostalgic.
No, they weren't nostalgic.
They
Yeah,
very
nothing-
rarely remade anything.
There was nothing to be nostalgic about.
Right. It hadn't come to that point yet. We're the first, like, say, real big generation of nostalgic viewers.
Yeah, but you're way younger than me. So you grew up in it. My era was definitely the opposite of yours.
How old are you?
I'll be 50.
78.
Okay, you're not that much older than me.
I'm a lot older than you.
I'm
bro.
44.
Oh, that's okay. So I like you were saying, I'm not that much older than you.
No,
you
you're not.
absolutely. So no,
You
but
know
so,
what I mean? Like, so we had Transformers, the cartoon movie. Now we're adults, and now we have Transformers movies. We had Karate Kid. Now we have Cobra Kai, and they're gonna do another Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
You didn't have, the only thing I could think of is they took old Western movies and they've updated them and put them into the like 80s movies. And I know they did
Well,
that
in the
with
80s though, that was that pop culture era, right? Where, to Caesar's point, right, we got movies for us. right? Never Ending Story, and
Right.
and
Those
we got,
were ours.
and then we got, our parents got stuff like
They got the Die Hard.
Howling and
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street, and
Yep.
like, you know, those were for them that we would watch.
Now they have to mesh them.
Yeah.
You
But
still
we did
have
get a lot of 80s remakes.
Yeah, you still have your adult movies, you still have your PG movies, your G movies, but the
But
most
Transformers
things that
was ours.
everybody's going for are what can we get nostalgia that gets the old guys to go watch it because it's fucking Karate Kid, but gets a new group because now they're Cobra Kai and it's a whole new young generation of fighters.
And it's also cha-ching, because the studios are going, we're going to market this for the kids, but guess who's taking the kids?
Yeah,
And guess
absolutely.
And guess who's going to buy 2 tickets to take the kids? It's most likely to be mom and dad going to go with the 28 kids. If you're down, Dow's like 45 kids.
Yeah.
So the problem is, and you might understand this, Ryan, for you specifically as the creator in this, you know, this particular episode, right? We want the things that we really genuinely, and we don't, I think sometimes we lose sight of that. We want the things that we embrace to be successful. I always tell people, right, as a comic book fan, as someone who specs on comics, right, I listen to people say, you know, I don't want this book to be mass produced because it has a certain amount of aftermarket value that I want to invest in it. And I'm always like, man, as someone who specs, screw that.
Yeah.
If I love this property, right, I want this artist and this writer to be successful, which means I want people to show up and I want people to buy as many copies as possible because I actually love this property. And I want them to continue to be able to put it out more than I want to invest in this. Right. I want to be able to make movies. I want to see TV shows. Monstrous is one of my favorite comics in print. I want everybody to show up and buy Monstrous. I want everyone to show up and buy it and support it so that they can put out more issues so that it can show up in other forms of media and I can continue to enjoy it. And I'm saying this because if I really enjoy the Transformers that I grew up with, then I'm cool with it being changed so that my children can enjoy it.
Yep.
So that the property continues to live and flourish.
Well, and that's where we can kind of segue back to the Superman movie and people who were crapping all over it. Like,
yeah, you're crapping on something that we haven't seen yet, and our kids are probably going to fucking love it.
Yeah, they're going to lose their shit. And I mean,
all new Superman fans.
My daughter, I mean, you know, she's 20 years old. I mean, she'll go with me to the Marvel movies, but doesn't read the books or nothing. But even she's excited for Superman. Are we going to go see it? I mean, I love the energy around that. So I think it's good to, I think, Ryan, you mentioned earlier, like, you know, we got to kind of stick to the line. People like us want us to stick to the storyline a little bit. But I like the twist because it's bringing in new demographics, new
Yeah,
folk,
you have to update it. It has to happen. I mean, I've already seen, look at He-Man. We've already seen the cast.
Yeah.
And we've seen behind the scenes footage of the actor who now looks huge, looks like a modern He-Man.
I can't wait.
Dude, I think for Evelyn. I'm an Evelyn.
I haven't seen any of it. I try to avoid. I try and avoid it. But it goes back to again the original concept. Let's go back to the Superman. How this all started. Now I'm stoked to see it because again, it's fucking Superman. I could give a rat's ass. If it sucks at the end of the day, I'm still going to go see it because it's Superman. And the kid in me just loves seeing those scenes where he's fucking flying around. Because as the creator in me is like, I can only hope that one day something I do is on that other side.
Preach.
Something I create can be on that other side. But staying on topic of the people that bullshit and hate on it and spread rumors and post too much about it, how much cooler would the scene that we all know we're already going to get when Supergirl finally pops her head into that movie because they've already announced it and people how much cooler would it have been to not know it until it finally showed the fuck up?
100%.
And I'm sorry, they got my homegirl from Game of Thrones to play Supergirl. What a great casting too, by the way.
I love the casting.
Love it. Love it.
That's all we knew was she was playing Supergirl. That's all we knew. That's all you need to know. And then you see her in the movie, and you
one of my all-time favorite reads.
It's a great run.
Absolutely.
She's very seriously Supergirl. That Supergirl. Listen,
and how cool is the movie going to be? Sorry, Ish. That
No.
you know, we saw like the Christopher Reeve Superman, right? All the Supermans we've seen, it's a coming of age. Like he's got to grow up and grow into it.
Yeah, this is not that.
How cool is this going to be where you're like in it? These heroes are already out there. They already exist. He's not
We
the only
don't
guy.
want
in
that
town.
anymore. We don't
Yeah,
want
We
another
don't want
Batman origin
we don't want
story.
reboots.
Yeah, we don't
We
want
don't
the
want-
We
origin
don't need
story.
another
in.
origin story.
Yeah.
We don't need
And
it.
I want to give Caesar big ups to something that Ryan was talking about earlier. I want to give Caesar big ups. Caesar came on this podcast several months ago. Everyone can go back and check the record. And he could tell you
Fact
that
check
the
that shit.
Transformers movie coming out was not for him.
Yeah.
But not that people shouldn't go see the movie. I never. They just, and this is, I really appreciated that because it speaks to what we were saying before. It's okay that something is not for us, but available for people to enjoy. Like not everything is got to be. And you know, Matt, who shout out to Matt. He's not on, but he has been on. Matt even said once on one of these shows, and I appreciated it, that he wants there to be so many Marvel movies that there are genres that he doesn't enjoy and doesn't have to watch, or so many offerings, so many different offerings of comic books. And that just made sense to me. He's like, yo, listen, everything doesn't have to be for me. I just want there to be enough of it that I can say, oh, I can leave this one, but I'll go watch this, or I don't care for this particular genre, but I'll choose this, because everything just doesn't have to be for you guys out there, guys and girls. It just don't.
Daniel took a little bit to say Momoa there.
Yeah,
Holy
Momoa. Jesus
Holy
Christ.
shit! These
So-
fat sausage fingers can't type.
So this is the thing, and you're right. I will shit on a movie because of what I think, but I would never say don't go see that
Yeah.
movie.
I always started.
Yeah,
But you
with
didn't crap
my
on it. You just
opinion.
were very adamant, like it's just not for me. You watched it. It just
And
what you
that's a
watched the
fair
trailer.
statement.
It wasn't for you.
Yeah.
It's
So now go down a couple comments there to Jahai's
Mhm.
comment. Did you see how massive? Nope, keep going down.
Yeah.
Did you see how
Yeah.
massive his hands
Corner
look on the
sweat? Yeah,
teaser
yeah. his
photo?
hand- he's a man.
No, actually, I did not, because all I saw was a hand holding the sword. I got fucking stoked and I moved the fuck on. I try not to like analyze every photo. It's the first little thing we've seen. Maybe he's got big ass hands. I don't know.
I often
and-
said I
and
wish
not
He-Man
that
was
he's
an
doing
HBO
it
show.
intentionally, but people that do that shit drive me nuts. All he said was, "Did you see it?" And that's fine. Like I'll even say, like sometimes, hey, like Scarlett Johansson, did you see? Like they tweaked her butt because her butt ain't that big.
Yo, they
Whatever.
did that with old girl who played Harley Quinn.
Yeah, but
That butt
it's
is
the
AI.
people that
Every
post
picture.
photos of quick 0.5-second flashes that they screenshotted, and they're like, "Look how fucking terrible this looks."
Do you
I'm like, "Are you
understand?
fucking kidding me right now?"
Do you understand me being a child who I grew up a He-Man kid? I wasn't a Transformer kid. I wasn't a Turtles kid. I was a
And I like the
He-Man.
Dolph Lundgren He-Man.
Star Wars, right?
J Rob.
Because I was just
I
about
like
to
the Dolph
say
Lundgren
that.
Punisher.
Okay, you both you guys are idiots. Second of all, I was about to say that when growing up, I was a He-Man, and when I first saw the trailer in the theaters, because that's the only way you can see it, with the trailer for He-Man coming out, I was like, that kid in me at the time was basically, I think I had my first sexual experience. And the thing is that after I saw the movie, as a kid, after I saw the movie, even as a child, I was like, I didn't like it. It's not the cartoon that we grew up in, right? It's not the cartoon that I used to watch. But at the same time,
Really
when I
old
was
cartoon
even,
where he never threw a punch and he just threw people every
he
time.
just threw people across the
Literally
fucking
threw
universe.
people all the time.
As a child, when I used to watch The Incredible Hulk, I was immersed. That was my Hulk. This 6'2" guy as a
Or
kid.
the TV show.
The TV show.
Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno to me was the 6'9", but
Yeah.
he was like 6'1", 6'2", how big he was.
Hated it.
I can't believe I'm watching, even as a kid, I can't believe I'm watching now. It gets stupid when he fucking fights Sasquatch and all that shit. But the thing is that even when we saw Daredevil, the very first one, I was giddy as a school child because we get to see Daredevil on this big ass screen for the very first time,
It was so good.
I was all over it. I Bullseye and
That was
Colin
awesome.
Farrell. I was all for it. Now you watch it like it's still good.
I can still watch it.
I can still watch it.
Now,
It's okay.
Mallard, yeah, I was just using your comment as a tool. I wasn't dogging on you. That's why I said he just said he has big hands. He should have big hands. He's fucking He-Man.
Jason, there's a lot of AI booty floating around.
A lot of AI booty. But
Like-
so you called me an idiot and Dan an idiot because we said I liked Dolph Lundgren and the Punisher and I liked He-Man. Now, mind you, I haven't watched that in probably 25 years.
Wow. Go watch it now.
But
I like every Punisher
dude,
that
so
came out
most of that shit will never hold up. Like there's a
God.
reason why I won't watch it again because I don't want to take away the fact that the younger me liked that shit.
All right.
It was
You
cool
don't want
back
to.
then. It was like holy shit, this is He-Man. Because I think
don't-
I was 12 when that came out or 14.
You don't want to ruin the image. You don't want to
No,
ruin
because
that-
it was
that-
cool. We got a fucking He-Man movie.
Nah, man.
See, J.
I
Rob.
never wanted to see it. I had every He-Man. J. Rob can attest to it.
Okay, but you
I
were
had
an older
the
teenager
whole
when I was a younger
collection.
teenager.
And when I saw that He-Man movie, and J. Rob was there, Jason Robinson, he was there. We grew up on the same street, playing with the toys on the porch, all of that. Listen, within our neighborhood, every He-Man action figure that ever existed was there. Yeah,
You weren't playing with your Princess Vespa doll. Oh, your helmet's so round. I
all
told
of
you
it
to
was
nap.
there. She-Ra was there, like all of it was there. Listen, when that movie dropped, I mean, it was like Beastmaster 2 through the portal of time. You know how he's like, and he goes from being Beastmaster to like being in LA in convertible.
Portal of time.
Yo, you know what I'm talking about, Caesar. I don't know if y'all know. Beastmaster was this incredibly dope movie with Mark Singer. Like he was
I remember the first one.
and then the second one, he's in Malibu.
Okay, yeah. See, that's well. I mean, that's what I talked about. But he goes off Hollywood.
That's what it was like.
And
Watch
until
it.
you said it, I couldn't. I
It's
didn't even
so
remember
unrealistic.
that He-Man went to normal place.
Yo,
It's just so unrealistic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
until
that's
you
how
guys
that
said
He-Man
it.
movie was.
Until
first
you said it, I
Beastmaster was
didn't
so
remember that
realistic.
He-Man did that.
Dan.
Yeah.
Like the first
All I remember was the cool
Beastmaster was
shots. That's it.
masterpiece.
He came to regular Earth.
I didn't remember that until you just ruined it for me. So now the 10-year-old in me is like, yeah, that sucked.
Well, don't worry. This He-Man is going to come to regular Earth too.
Yeah.
No spoilers,
Okay.
Ish. No spoilers on
Okay.
Beastmaster 2.
But J. Rob, I just want to say, you say the Ben Affleck Daredevil was atrocious. You're saying that when you saw it back when you had hair, I don't know if you had a fro or small fro or whatever it is, and you went to the theater, picking your nose and all that stuff. You at that very moment sitting
getting
and
oddly
watching.
specific.
I'm getting very specific because I have this vision of him already in my head. All pimples and nerdy ass black
With
dude,
jaundice.
He was just
With
on screen. I don't
With
think that's one
jaundiced
dude you want to
eyes.
make fun of.
big glasses. So being in the theaters, J. Rob, and you're watching that. Come on, you weren't excited. You can look at it now as an adult and look at Daredevil and go, "That movie's atrocious." Sure, okay, I get that. I could go back and watch the movies I grew up watching. I watch Ghostbusters now. I'm not as excited. I know Ryan would shit on that, but I'm just not as excited for the Ghostbusters now.
I'm not. I'm the same way.
Hey, I think it's kind of overrated. I don't know why. It's just I don't get it. The nostalgia's not there for me.
Yeah, we like Shannon loves Ghostbusters. We still watch it, but I get what you're saying. There's certain ones it's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I could watch Daredevil. Even when it came out, I was like, it's not that bad. They did some bad things to it. And I think that made it worse. Because like how hard could it have been to just keep Bullseye looking like Bullseye?
Yeah.
Colin Farrell was really great as Bullseye, though.
Oh,
But
yeah,
his acting was he did some cool shit. Like there were some cool things about it. So it wasn't like I can put aside the small things that made it shitty and remember like it's still fucking Daredevil on screen. We still have yet to have another Daredevil. Bennifer had a fight. That's one of those scenes that's like, come on, that's not very And I'll say what we said. It's not very realistic. How the fuck would that scene happen? It's a comic book movie. That's exactly how that scene happens.
And just to your point, I was happy that we got a He-Man movie. I can say though that after watching it, I've never watched it again. Never wanted to watch it again. For as big of a fan of He-Man as I was, just never wanted to watch it again. But I can say the same about the G.I. Joe movie. I was happy to get a G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah.
Never watched it again.
No, I agree. There's certain movies out there. There's even old cartoons that I'm like, I love them to this. I mean, I did a Silverhawks cover for the new release because I'm a huge 80s, 90s kid. And I loved Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks, Thundercats, all that shit. I will probably never watch the original cartoons ever again because I know as soon as I do, they are not going to hold up. And I'm gonna be like, why did this dumbass kid love this shit so much? Because we've had 30 years of animation in between hand.
But at the same time, when they make that Thundercats live action film, you know,
I'm gonna fucking go see it.
Of course, we're all gonna go see it. Now, because we're older and our palette for movies has increased, we're a lot more critical now to movies than when you're 12 years old because you're just happy to see a toy you used to play with or a cartoon you used to watch in the movie screen. But now that we're older, we're like, now we can go, you know what? It's not that great. Or why did they make Lion-O a female? Why did they make so-and-so Asian? Why did so-and-so? When you're a kid, you might think about it. What's going on there, Fable? When you're a kid, you might go, he's not like that in the cartoon. Or that's not like the toy that I play with. And then you would just forget about it and then watch the movie.
Yep.
But as adults, it simmers. And some of these adults can't fucking sleep. They can't sleep. They toss and turn all night. They scream out this movie and they talk to their wife and explain to her how shitty this movie is. And she looks at him going, what the hell are you talking about? You know, I don't care.
Yeah, I can wait till this movie comes out with Henry Cavill.
That's right. Now,
Voltron. Yeah.
Now, Voltron's another cartoon I used to watch as a kid. Coming home from school, and I would have a bowl of cereal because that was my snack, and I would watch Voltron. Voltron is something I think what's going to happen with Voltron. You're either going to love it or you're going to fucking hate it. It's going to be one of those movies.
I mean, that's most
which movie?
Voltron.
Voltron.
It's going to be one of those. It's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a gray area. You're going to be like, "Fuck, that was great," because this is the unfair part. Being an adult in the '80s, all those movies, He-Man, Voltron, Thundercats, whatever it is,
there was a Voltron movie,
and no, there's going to be one.
There's going to be.
Which
Ryan,
Voltron?
you have any Voltron or Princess Allura covers or anything in the hopper coming out?
Henry Cavill.
Not that I know of.
Which Voltron? American Lions or Asian airplanes?
Lions.
It should be the Lions.
Oh, God, if they do airplanes, forget about it.
I just thought the Asian airplane show was a better show. It was just more serious, more,
We're talking about the movies ish.
I know. It's
different cartoons for transfer.
I know. You knew something I didn't know about Voltron.
Yeah, they had the blue people. Remember, they had the blue with the long white hair, and it was.
Oh yeah. Actually, yes.
Oh, the planes were bad. The planes were bad.
Funny enough, I did work on something Voltron when I first started. Is like they did a Voltron like pinup book. It was just like all poster size pieces inside. It was just an art book made from whoever decided to do it in the licensor. I have no idea why it came out. It's not a comic book at all. They were just like, hey, let's get every artist we can find to do something Voltron and make a hardcover book. But I was so fresh in the industry, and it was like, Voltron, I'm fucking in.
The problem is it's going to be campy because you have to.
You're already crapping on it. Let's see what happens.
No. When I say campy, that's just not necessarily bad. It has to be campy, right? Like the formula for them to get the audience that they want to get, which is not going to be us.
I can't see.
They're not
Cavill
trying to
being
get people
Campy,
who
though.
grew up on Voltron to go watch Voltron. They're trying to get the younger generation, kids. They want kids
So-
to buy the toys. They want kids to buy.
Wait, so does that mean He-Man's going to be campy?
Hold on. Let me hold on before you go to that.
He's brewing. He's got something going.
Campy isn't always bad. I can give you a few campy shows that were dope, right? That 2-movie series with boy who's in He-Man, the black dude, the Caillou series, right? Where they had to kind of be compatible with each other to put to
Pacific Rim.
those were good.
Yep.
Really good. The robot boxer movie with the guy who played Wolverine
I thought you meant
Real
I thought
Steel.
you meant the
Real
kid with the
Steel.
pet.
was really good. Like
I
these
thought you
were
meant the
good
kid on
movies
CBS.
Like
that are
Campy.
campy, that are
Yeah.
meant to be, you know what I'm saying? But they work. They're not Michael Bay campy, right? They're not, Transformers breakdancing, right? they're like
You gotta hate on Jazz, man. That was cool because he just said, "Can we kick it?"
that was stupid.
They had to make him urban.
I'm just
That
saying.
was fucking ridiculous.
When I say campy, I mean campy in that fun,
Yeah,
right?
no,
Like,
I
not
agree. I agree.
overly serious because they want everybody to enjoy this movie. That's what I think it's going to be.
I'll agree with you.
I got to tell you, I saw Pacific Rim obviously as an adult. I grew up loving me some robots. I was all about the manga, the what is it, Transor Z and all that shit growing
Oh,
up.
Transor Z. Oh my
Transor
god.
Z and Voltrons and all that stuff. The cartoon, the Transformer cartoons. I just never really liked
You
those.
weren't a real fan unless you knew GoBots.
Right. Get the fuck out of here. So this is the thing. All right. I saw Pacific Rim as an adult, and I don't know if I was robots fighting each other, right?
They were fighting Kai.
I
They were
was
fighting.
not-
They were fighting
Either way.
kaiju's.
They were fighting kaijus, right? I wasn't into it. It kind of fell flat to me. So when I saw the second one, I was like, oh, this is horrible. This is just bad. They rushed the second one, and it was stupid, and I didn't like it. So those are the reasons why sometimes as an adult we get jaded because we know too much. And sometimes I kind of wish we could just watch a movie through the eyes of a 12-year-old again and just
Right.
not care and just be happy.
agree.
Because
I'll agree with
as
that.
I was saying, the problem is with all these movies coming out with the Voltrons and the He-Mans and all that stuff, it tugs at our nostalgic strings of our adulthood that makes us go watch it. But because we are adults with nostalgia in the brain, we are very easy and quick to be critical of a movie. Whether you say it out loud or not, you will think that part doesn't make sense. Why did they do it at that color? What was wrong with the original color? Why did they have to change the mane? Why did they have them talk all, like hip?
Listen, the Black Lion is going to be the kid from the wrong side of the tracks who doesn't really want to do it and could care less. And you already know the story.
And I'm gonna watch that shit anyway.
Me too.
But
Me too.
But I agree with you, Caesar. I lost the cool card.
You lost, yeah.
No, I hate that version of Jazz, but my kid thinks it's funny as shit. I'm actually drawing a cover of the real Jazz right now, or I'm working on one. I'm a G1 dude, but you can have your opinion all you want. You can say, like, I'm going to watch it, I'm going to come out, and I'm going to be like, because we're instantly jaded, we expect something. That doesn't mean you have to hate monger it before it even comes out and bash everything online, which is, again, where we started this conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing I like about the Voltron movie is the only fucking thing I know about it is Henry Cavill's in it. That's it.
Oh, and we don't
And I
even know
hope
what
it fucking
character.
stays that way.
we don't even know, right?
About it.
I hope Henry
You know-
Cavill.
And by the way, you can like the old stuff and also like the new stuff. Like, I'll give you a really good example.
Not according to Facebook, you cannot.
Well, for sure. I mean, they just, everybody's in a bad mood on Facebook. But the reality is, look at Jumanji. I love the Robin Williams Jumanji. I love the Rock Jumanji. I do. I mean, they're entertaining.
So funny.
I know. I mean, it's not. It's a long parallel. I get it. It's not like a Marvel movie, but you can like the old and like the new, and the new definitely appeals to a younger audience than the old did.
My weakness
I'll
is
say right
strength.
now, I'm gonna-
Like strength was his weakness. Like that was so funny on the Kevin Hart.
What?
The Jumanji joint
What?
where Kevin Hart's weakness is strength. Like you don't have no strength. Like, he's like, yo, my weakness is strength. What do you mean? Like you have no strength. Like yo, it's so funny because they all got a weakness. They all have a strength.
But
His
I will
weakness-
say it made my kids watch the old one.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. Then they get hungry and they want to go back and look at the stuff and see what. I mean, that happened a lot of times when we would go see the early Marvel movies with my daughter. She was younger. Well, where did this come from? And I'm like, well, here, look at some of these. And she still thought I was a nerd. But either way, I mean, you know, she at least was interested.
To me, that's the point.
Abby, to answer your question, it's very hard to not make a remake because it's kind of been proven that when people come up with the original concept for movies, it just doesn't do as well as the remake. Once
In the
again,
theater.
it goes in the theater. In the theater. Now, once again, it goes back to the nostalgia. People rush in droves to watch it because they love the nostalgia. But when it comes to remakes, for the most part, they're always taking something from an old and they're remaking it new, but it's not a remake of something. But it's
Yeah,
the same
I mean,
concept. How many
yeah.
movies have we seen on Amazon, whatever, with Jamie Foxx, where he had that power? Remember that one movie? I forgot where he took a pill and he got powers. It's always something that's like, okay, down and out
Oh,
kid or
There's a new one.
father.
It's Michael Fassbender, and she played Hera on Thor. I can't remember. I just saw the trailer for it.
For
and
Amazon?
It's
Who, Kate Blanchett?
was she I'm not Hera. Hela.
Yeah, she was
Hella.
Hella. Yeah.
Hela?
Kate-
Okay,
Kate
I
Blanchett.
want to say it's her and Michael Fassbender. That's Magneto, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it's the two of them. And if you watch it, I can't remember what it's called, but the trailers just started dropping like even on Prime and on everywhere. If you watch it, the first thing I got was they redid Mr. and Mrs. Smith and put a twist on it.
There you go.
They're not both spies, but one's
They're
a
not.
spy and the other one is actually like the villain. They're not rival spies. One's good, one's bad.
Yeah, well, Mr. and
But
Mrs.
it
Smith,
just
they
was
got
like,
to.
oh, it's just Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I just saw recently the Jamie Foxx one with Cameron Diaz, another reboot of a sort of a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but with a different twist.
They have a TV
It's
show
like
called Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, I don't think they were even trying to I think it's like the what is it? Lethal Weapon TV show. We know what they're doing.
now.
They're
Let me
not
talk.
trying to twist it.
Let me bring up a movie. Let me bring up a movie that has yet to ever be mentioned on this podcast. And when I first saw it, I enjoyed it, and that is Hancock.
Is what?
Hancock with Will Smith.
Mr. and
Keep
Mrs.
his
Smith
name
with
out
powers.
your effing mouth.
Oh,
Mr.
Hancock.
Mr. and Mrs.
Hancock,
Smith with
yeah.
powers.
Hancock. You're talking so close to the mic.
Oh, then
All I could hear is Hancock.
Ryan, my
Sorry.
favorite movie was Hancock.
Sorry, I was.
Call me asshole one more time.
Okay.
I love that movie.
It was. I liked Hancock because at the time I thought it was. I didn't realize it was based on a comic book.
The Mark.
At that time. Is that what it was? Is that what it was called? The Mark.
It was
I thought
supposed to be based on the Mark, which never
I
came
thought it
out.
was. I thought it was. He came from above. But anyways, so I thought that was kind of cool because it was different, and then that little twist at the end, right?
When he smashed the lampshade on the desk and then started sharpening it. Remember
Yeah.
that in Hancock?
Yeah.
I thought
There
one
was
of the
just some
worst
cool
scenes that I ever seen in a movie was him putting his head up another dude's butt as if that was. I didn't even understand how
Like,
either one of them
again,
was still alive. Like I thought it was one of the worst things I've ever seen on film.
Yeah.
But
Again,
didn't they-
it
in that-
has
in that
some
very
moments
scene,
where you're like,
they
come on,
used the Sanford and
motherfucker.
Son theme song, didn't they? In that very scene, wasn't it Sanford and
Yeah.
Son?
Yeah, yes, they did.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
definitely some scenes where you're like, for real, dude. But at the same time, we're watching a movie of basically Superman. You know, it was very entertaining. It had some campy moments, but it was very entertaining. I
It
thought it
was.
was great because it was one of those. It's a superhero movie. That isn't a superhero movie. The guy's an asshole.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Jerry. The thing is, they will never make. See, they have remade Scarface in just different genres, just different. You know, this guy down and out, he comes back and he's a kingpin. Da, da, da. It's just don't call it Scarface.
I watch Scarface every day. Every day. It's every day. It's on my TV every day. Just playing on my TV. Scarface 1 and 2, yeah. And it's interesting because when I went to get my coffee, I was thinking about something y'all were talking about
What do you mean 1 and 2?
stop
What's
it.
2?
Stop it.
Which one's
Stop
2?
it. Stop. Can we
I'm
stop?
with him. I didn't know there was a 2.
You didn't know there? Oh, Scar. I'm sorry, Godfather. Duh.
Get the fuck
Okay,
out of here.
now we're on the same page.
Now-
Okay.
now we're the
So
same
there's not
page.
you
So-
watching the wrong television if you're watching Scarface 2. Does the website start with 3 X's?
know.
Because that ain't the same movie.
Maybe
Listen.
it's on Showtime late night. Scarface too. Oh,
Scarface 2 is called Carlito's Way. But anyway, so
True.
Ah,
That is true.
so
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. I was thinking about that.
Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Anyway, so
Yeah.
I was thinking about that earlier because Godfather is on my TV every day, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking when we were talking about movies, and you guys had mentioned something about movies not holding up when you go back and watch them, and I was thinking it's really just the movies like sci-fi movies with special effects.
Yes.
Anything
Yeah,
just
right.
with a substance and story, just
Right.
based upon substance and story, generally holds up. You can go all the way back to the 50s and 60s and watch something that just has substance and a good story and not so much sci-fi. Like I put Alien 1 on recently. Horrible. Of course, worse. Like really bad. Really bad. That spaceship, stop it. It's like it's like a really advanced sneaker box that someone is just like literally like you can tell like it's so bad. You know what I mean? And it's generally those movies.
I will agree with that to a point. If the movie, even sci-fi movies, if the movie has a connecting plot, something that you personally emotionally connect to, it's gonna stay.
Like the
Because
Black
I
Hole.
watch Independence Day a lot.
I'm sorry.
Like the first one, not the second one.
I didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah, I've never seen that one, and my wife said it's pretty bad.
The second one sucks.
It's with I can't remember one of the
the
Hemsworths.
second one has
I
a
think.
big alien that's attacking the base.
Yeah, so when you randomly, it's like TNT, especially when it gets to summertime, like Independence Day comes on, and I'll sit there and watch it. And there are certain scenes that I remember seeing in the movies because this is when like THX first came out, and the big surround sounds and that really drove those sounds into your fucking skull when things were exploding and the jets were flying.
When that White House exploded, it blew up.
Oh yeah, so like those scenes still hold up pretty well. Others do not. Like the jet fighters, you're like, oh, that looks like a toy going across the screen. But when I saw it as a kid, it was a dogfight. Now you look at it and like the plane doesn't actually even move. There's no lighting, there's no nothing. It just goes across. But I'll continually watch the movie, and a lot of people watch the movie. It just works.
I tell you what. I tell you what. This is the funny thing is that to Ish's point, you can watch The Godfather, and it holds because there's no special effects.
Yeah,
it's all practical. It's a period piece because especially the second one they go back and forth. It's a fantastic. Well, there's a reason why Godfather. My wife and I just recently watched 1, 2, and 3.
3 was terrible. Why couldn't they just stop on
Nobody
time?
watched
But
3.
I know,
they should have.
but nobody watches 3. But we watched it because I watched 1 and 2, and we're like, we gotta just do 3, right? Now, this is the thing: certain movies do hold up, and certain Star Wars for me, I don't know. it holds. Consider the fact the budget for that movie was ridiculous. They didn't have any budget.
There you go. That's a better
It's-
example than Independence Day.
Yeah, Star Wars still
Star
holds
Wars
up
holds
for
up.
1977.
I agree with
you know?
Ish. The movies like Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
But zero special effects.
Yeah.
That's still probably one.
Yeah, but you know what,
movies.
Ryan? That movie flopped in the box office. Is that crazy?
Did it?
Of course,
Yeah,
it did.
it flopped, and it's amazing. It's such an
You know what?
amazing.
Fuck the
It's-
box
it's a
office
cult
because
following.
no one liked Gangster Squad either, and that shit not Gangster Squad, Monster Squad, and that movie's the shit.
Stop it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, but I agree with you 100%. Shawshank Redemption up there all
Monsters.
time.
Wolfman has nards.
Yeah, kick him in the nards.
One of these days, I think my goal this year is to watch Monster Squad.
You never seen
Dude.
Monster Squad?
It's awful, but
It
it's
was not
so
my
great
favorite.
at the same time.
Like, even as a kid, I was not.
Conflicted.
What year? What year was it? What
Have
year
you
did it
seen
come
The
out?
Sandlot?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
It's that but monsters.
Did you see Little
Sandlot's
Giants?
amazing.
Did you see Little Giants?
Yeah,
Maybe.
with Ed O'Neill, Little Giants, and
The football movie, Rick Moranis.
Moranis.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Goonies?
Yeah, see, Goonies sucks, man.
oh,
Goonies sucks.
I'm
I'm sorry.
I'm
Just
Jack.
not
suck in
yourself
time out.
I just want to speak to you. Time all the way out. Like, come back when the show's over with the credits.
Go-
We'll handle the
Goonies is overrated, and let me tell you
nuts,
why.
man.
Goonies is 100%, 100%.
You didn't watch that show back when Goonies came out and wanted to make the oil
nostalgia.
slick shoes.
No,
He's like 65. He can't relate to that shit.
pure nostalgia, you son of a bitch.
Now I've been waiting
Son
for
of
that
a
all
bitch.
night.
Goonies is overrated?
Ryan, you're a son of a bitch.
You didn't tell me as a kid you didn't want to go find the treasure ship buried in a cave?
Keep my name out of your damn mouth.
Listen, you didn't watch Goonies, Caesar.
Thank
I
you,
don't know.
Dorf.
You want to make the oil slick shoes and be Data and do all that shit?
No,
Sloth love chunk.
Oh, you're crazy.
I don't know. It just wasn't. This is the one.
Yo,
I'll say again.
everybody
I was
is telling you to boot yourself.
thing-
Leave comments.
thing is-
You're wrong about it being overrated.
Ryan literally just left me after you
You're
said
wrong,
that.
bro.
Fuck you.
This is the
Everybody
thing.
is telling you need to boot yourself.
This the same way I said as an adult that the Transformers, the new one, the cartoon was not for me. Goonies at that time
You're gonna keep
was
beating
not
this
for
horse.
me.
You're
I'm
do
gonna
this?
fuck. I'm gonna beat it to
I
you.
want
to
to
have
go
fucking
back to
horse
that Ryan a
burgers.
question. I want to divert.
I'm
this-
gonna
We're going off the rails here. I want to go back and ask Ryan a
Ish.
question.
I'm gonna beat this horse. You're gonna have a fucking a horse burger in
When
your
Ryan
damn
comes
mouth.
back, before Ryan comes back, J Rob, I just want to tell you half of what you said is correct.
Which part?
Beastmaster holds up. I still like Clash of the Titans, but that little
Oh.
owl, you can
Yep.
see this. You can see the invisible string on the
You
metal
don't like
owl
Udo?
on Clash of the
Udo
Titans. You
Lauer?
can see
I
it.
love that thing.
I listen. Clash of the Titans is a shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
When I was a kid,
Jason
I'm
and the
all-
Argonauts.
I'm all about the mythos. I'm all about mythology. I'm all about Sinbad and the Seven Seas, the Golden
You're going
Voyage
to go
of
see the
Sinbad.
remake of the Odyssey that's coming out, Caesar. You're going to
Yeah.
go see that.
Yeah. As a
Yeah.
matter of, yes. Yeah.
If you like
I love
mythology, then you need a book
I've
that
never
you
seen it.
need to read. Is Ish, you might have read it. Mad Cave Studios. Hunt, Kill, Repeat.
Hunt, Kill, Repeat. Yeah, I have it.
So I drew the main cover A's for the whole. It's only 6
Really?
issues. Yeah,
They even did
a trade.
no, they did like an ash can preview.
No, I don't. No, I didn't do the cover for that.
2020,
I did the main covers.
2022, right?
Yeah.
Yep, 2022. Yep.
So it's all Greek mythology in today's times.
He's not going to read it. I don't know why you even mentioned it.
I'm writing it down right now, as a matter of fact, Ryan.
Yeah, get the trade.
Well,
There's a
Dan's
trade.
gonna read it. Dan will read it for me. You know, I recently saw the Ralph Fiennes movie about the Odyssey, and if you, it's on Amazon. Go watch it.
Okay.
It's basically him coming back to the island. Whatever happened, but he comes back to the island. That part of the Iliad where the wife, you know, they're all waiting for her to pick a husband and all that.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Just
So it's
that.
post Odyssey.
It's post Odyssey. post the Cyclops, the sirens, and all that stuff. It's him landing on the island by himself, and now it's the whole thing with the bow and through the axe head. It's all about that. It's fantastic. It's one of those movies. Once again, if you're watching 30 years from now, it holds. No special effects.
It's on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had a movie about the Odyssey on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's called the Return. I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
check it out.
I like the Greek mythology. Man, I tried to.
love it.
I like it so much. I tried to go back and rewatch Hercules just so I could see Greek mythology, and I was like, I didn't even make it past the intro. I was like,
Yeah.
nope.
The cartoon or the
No,
Arnold
the
Arnold
Kevin
Schwarzenegger.
Sorbo show.
Oh,
No. I thought you were talking about the Lou Ferrigno movie.
No,
Yeah,
no. The TV show, the Kevin Sorbo show. I was like, nope, can't watch it.
That's funny. That is.
Or
that
even
is
The
funny.
Rock. The Rock did Hercules.
I liked
Oh,
his
that's right.
remake more than the Kalen Lutz one.
Oh, that would suck balls.
Yeah.
It's more Iliad in Odyssey, but yeah, it is that, J-Rob.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
They just
Okay,
redid
so
Iliad.
it is called The Return, and it's on Amazon Prime. Yep. It's called The Return. So,
I haven't
yes.
watched Nosferatu to answer
Neither have I.
Mallard's question. I will say I was intrigued by it. I don't watch a lot of those movies, but what I liked about it is I knew nothing except for it was Nosferatu. You only had one trailer. There wasn't a bunch of hype around it. Those are the movies that I'm more interested in now because it's not in your face fucking everywhere.
Oh shit!
I
I
liked
just
it. I
remembered.
went to the theater and saw it.
I just
do all that.
remembered, and yeah, heavy metal would be interesting. I did the second one wasn't that great, but heavy metal.
I like
the
J
original
Rob.
one-
It's Kevin Sorbo. That's all you need to know. But 20 years ago, we didn't know that he was
we
actually
did.
an actor in
I-
Russian.
We did.
I on the way
When
on
they
the
put that
way-
Harlequin romance cover on TV,
The what?
those books, they were called Harlequin romance novels.
Yeah,
Harley Quinn, right?
No,
yeah,
not
but you didn't know
Harlequin.
Kevin Sorbo
Harlequin
was a whacked out
romance
lunatic.
novel. And Kevin Sorbo was right off those covers. The
Yes.
moment they put that on my TV, I knew I don't have to watch this. This is not for me. It's not for me. Like I already knew.
So- We're already past we're at the top of the hour, but I do want to end it with just let you guys know that I might have said this last week on my way back from the airport from MegaCon. I watched The Crow, the remake.
Ooh. And how do you feel?
And I saw it, and then after I finished it, I just kind of shook my head. I'm like, well, that was a waste of time.
I put myself on timeout.
Brandon Lee
Yeah.
can never be not even imitated or duplicated. Can't do
And
it.
the storyline.
I
wouldn't
will
even
say
call it a
it's
remake.
not supposed to be the Brandon Lee Crow though.
No,
It's the newer comic edition that they did years later.
it just
Yeah, he made it
Finally-
clear that he's not remaking the original Crow.
Yeah.
right. And that's what it was.
They
People were
marketed that
expecting-
all fucked up.
I did, Abby, and the Odyssey.
I read the Odyssey. I read the Iliad, but like when I was in grade school.
One of
I
my
haven't
one of my
read
favorite
it.
one of my favorite Iliads was a made for TV movie back in the early '90s, and it was like a 3-part about and they did the whole thing, right? The Cyclops, and they did the sirens, and they did all that stuff. The River Styx. There's something really cool and fascinating about that stuff, and that's why I think they need to make more movies that have to do with. And I think that's why I used to like the movie Immortal when it first came out. That's Henry Cavill when he was before really big Henry Cavill.
What movie?
Yeah. Immortals.
What? Immortals. Henry Cavill. What's the guy? Whiplash. What's the fucker's name? From
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
The guy that played Deacon Frost in the first Blade.
He's in it.
What was this movie about?
Gods.
Gods. Greek mythology.
Titans. to talk about some.
Yeah,
Titans.
it's more so about unleashing the Titans.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good. It's Hyperion. Hyperion is a character. I think.
You'd be surprised how many even modern day books twist in Greek mythology into their story. I mean,
you know,
it's sometimes it's very out in the open. Ish, we were just talking the other day about the Wonder Woman, the current Wonder Woman run, right? I mean, she literally went to hell to see Steve Trevor, right? I mean, paying the ferryman and everything, you know.
What?
Charon.
J-Rob, what movies do you like? I'm just fucking. As a matter of fact, you might know. What movies does he like? Goonies.
Goonies. Steven Dorff. Thank you, Steven Dorff. Yes.
I'm not. Other than Goonies, what movies? And you've known him the longest, ish. What movies does that bald fool like?
I can't speak for the homie, but he generally has good taste in movies. He has some bad taste that not bad taste that I don't necessarily agree with, but he generally has good taste. There's some things that I don't necessarily agree with, what he just don't agree with, but he's got generally good taste. He ain't gonna be Explorers. There you go. We grew up on that joint. Did you watch it? Tell me you like the Explorers.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Oh my god. Go away. Caesar.
Ish, how can it?
How, the Navigator.
Now that Flight of the Navigator is fantastic.
Awesome. How do you not know Explorers though?
That's where I was going with that. Flight of the Navigator, Explorers, they all came out.
I would love to see. Oh, I'm sorry, not Flight of the Navigator. I'm confused. I'm thinking the Last Starfighter. Last Starfighter was
dope.
Yeah, Last Starfighter was good too.
Flight of the Navigator was special.
I don't remember which one Flight of the Navigator.
It was special.
You gotta understand.
As a
the
kid,
funny thing is, Ish, we're not that far off on age. I'm only 3 years older than you. I mean, I just literally turned 53 last couple of Wednesdays ago.
Did you like Enemy Mine?
No, until he got pregnant. I understand. You know, Enemy Mine is good. Enemy Mine is good.
So they got pregnant because
him getting pregnant kind of threw me off. Yeah. I just think
before there was a day. is that what it is?
But you have to understand, I don't know what I was watching apparently, since everyone else was watching something completely different. I don't know what fucking movie theater I was going to. But
you need a refund.
My taste of movies were just different. I was also watching Ivanhoe, you know, as a kid. Because I was always
mixing Goonies up with Ghoulies. Ghoulies wasn't good.
Ghoulies with the little thing coming out of the toilet? No, man.
Yeah, that wasn't good. Are you sure you're not mixing it up?
Listen. All right. Listen.
For your sake, say yes, I mixed them up.
All right. To all you, listen up, you sons of bitches. All of you guys. Goonies is all right. I just don't gush over it the way everyone else does. It's all right. It was what it was. But it's not a religion for me. All you guys are, now Flash Gordon, as a kid, was my shit.
Who didn't like the girl in that movie? It was hard not to like her in that movie.
Space Ace in the making.
It's hard.
All right. I think it's time
to watch Incredible Hulk. Just to compare, when you say age, when you were watching Incredible Hulk, I was watching Linda Carter. Because y'all wasn't robbing me of my time. This dude turns green for like 30 seconds at the end of the show. Like, you barely get Incredible Hulk turning into the Hulk. In the meantime, Linda Carter's all over the screen.
Listen,
truth.
Dan, just let you know, I didn't mind John Carter of Mars. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it.
Yo.
I thought it was great.
Yo. Listen.
I'm just saying.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. He didn't like Goonies, but he didn't mind John Carter.
I said that Goonies is all right. I just don't gush over it.
So this is the last time that Caesar's going to invite Ish and I on a movie show because, you know.
I'm never on a movie show. You ain't sure that I'm not on the movie show.
I tell you who I'm never going to invite back on the movie show is fucking J-Rob, because first of all, actually maybe I will invite him because he'll just see himself out like 10 minutes into the show. So, yeah. Okay, J-Rob. All right, guys. We're going to end this.
Moral of the story, don't be a douche on the internet and fuck it up for everybody else.
Did you like Anna Paquin and X-Men as Rogue?
She was
You
no.
did, didn't you? You was like, she's my road. She's
She's
my
definitely not my road. She made no. That woman made no sense. You know what? This is stupid. What a stupid show. All right, guys. This whole show was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, because everybody turned against you the moment.
This was fun.
You guys just made this. You just made the fucking glasses steam up on my glasses steam up.
Well, we had a great time.
All these figures that I have on my wall, they all look.
Ryan's blocking right now. He's like, YouTube block.
All these figures that I have in my room, they all looked at me at the same time. They all stared at me like Toy Soldier. I love Toy Soldier. Is that what it's called? Toy Soldier? Soldiers? What's it called?
Toy Soldier.
Toy Soldiers was a movie with
Toy Soldiers.
it was a
Yeah,
school
there's
movie,
Toy
wasn't
Soldiers.
No,
They fought the
you're
Toy
right.
Monsters.
What's the movie with the toys that talk?
it?
Toy
No, it's Toy
Soldiers.
Story.
Toy Story.
No.
No, he's thinking with the. It's
Small Soldiers.
Small Soldiers.
Chucky.
Toy Soldiers was that movie where the school got taken over and Will
Oh
Wheaton
yeah,
died.
no. Small Soldiers was when the army toys came to life and the alien toys came to life with a little microchip that gets put in them.
Phil Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman's in it.
It's dope. Like, how do you get kids to go to the movies? Have their toys kill each other.
Yeah, basically. The voice was fucking Two-Face. What's the guy's name? From the Batman movies, the
Durf,
old
you got
one.
it, Durf.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Dorf knows what Toy Soldiers is.
Oh, I saw Toy Soldiers. That's with the very young Timothy Hutton. I'm all about the Toy Soldiers.
And Lou Gossett Jr., Memory Eternal. That dude, amazing.
Iron
Lou
Eagle.
Gossett Jr.
Iron Eagle. All right, I'm gonna cut the shit off because it's ridiculous, and you guys I'm gonna open my mouth and you guys
Before we go, Ryan, tell us some of the stuff you're working on now and how people can find you too on the socials.
Oh, you just took Caesar's last words out of his mouth. Caesar, do your spiel.
I thought he was going to hang up on us after the movie comments.
That's the last time Dan is. Well, Dan, it was nice having you.
Hey, I'll see you guys. Bye.
Caesar, after the Goonies comment, I don't think anyone else has heard you. I don't think they've heard anything.
That's what I was worried about. He was going to cut it off.
You know what? I don't. I got to be honest. I don't care. This is what I don't give a shit. I'm old. I don't care. I don't care if you
This
guys
is
like
why I come
movies.
back and do the show, because I like giving Caesar a hard time. And then we
I
have
don't
fun
care.
with it later.
I don't care if you guys like Goonies. I don't care if you guys watch it having your background like The Godfather with Ish. It's all right. You guys it is all right. I just don't set my clock. That's all.
Just come
all
back and watch my show.
Just come back. Listen, I love Goonies. All right, good. Now come back. Sons of bitches. All right, guys. Well, we're going to say our goodbyes, and let's start with you, Dan, since you stole my thunder. Go ahead, pal.
I apologize. Guys, first of all, thank you all so much for listening in. You can find me on Instagram at Tree City Comics. I post new comic book reviews every Wednesday, and I'm always posting my memes. Look forward to chatting with you guys. Feel free to interact, and we'll talk to you again soon, hopefully. I'm probably not going to be back on the show after taking Caesar's thunder.
Yeah, remember that face, people, because that's the last time you're going to see it on this Tuesday show. No, honestly, Dan has become a really good friend of mine, and I love the guy. He's just a fantastic dude. So, and I'm also kind of lying a little bit. So here we go, Ish. Where can we find you, my pal?
Y'all can find me at Comic Sense on Instagram and on Facebook, COMIXSENSE. Y'all can also find me at Issue X on Instagram, ISHUE.X. And I want to send a special shout out. Make sure y'all go over to the YouTube page right now. Go there, click a thumbs up, click a thumbs down, press the video for a couple seconds, do something, don't do nothing. Caesar's always bringing y'all good content. So make sure that y'all show appreciation for that. And I'm going to go out on a limb real quick and let you know that next time Caesar's going to come back and he's going to let us all know that his favorite movie is Super Mario Brothers starring John Leguizamo.
stupid.
Yes.
All right, Ryan. What
That's
are you
great.
working
It should have just
on?
ended. It should have just ended.
I should have just cut the show right there, right?
This
Yeah, he did
John
a mic drop.
Leguizamo,
He did a mic drop on my own
Dennis
show.
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. Y'all forgot
Dennis Hopper as Bowser. I mean, come on. How do you?
Was it Captain Lou Albano in that movie? Well, I might think
Who?
of the TV show. Captain Lou
I
Albano.
don't know. There was actually some great people in that awful movie. And as a kid, I was like, wow, they made a movie. But no, that's definitely one that I was like, that's not right. You can find me all over the place: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I do have a TikTok. I'm never really on it. I post artwork if you like watching people draw. Everything's under just Ryan Kincaid, Ryan M. Kincaid. I'm always drawing something. Dan, to answer your question, I'm dropping a cover for the new Penosian series called The Lost Boy. I'm working on an Absolute Wonder Woman issue right now, or a cover for that. Most of the stuff you can actually find on my website directly from me if you don't like having to buy from outside sources. It's just ryanmkincaid.com. It's real simple. Even just going there can guide you to any of the social medias.
That Lilo is dope.
Oh, the Lilo. I'm working on an actual Lilo and Stitch cover as well.
Oh, there you go. You know, we all know that Ryan. Not only is he a fantastic artist, he's also a good friend. He's a good family man. He has a lovely wife who helps him run the business.
That's pushing it.
No, I do shows with her, so I got to be like this. So I'm scared of her.
As most are.
So I had to get myself. I told Ryan that I had to at least buy one of his books. This is his Lobo cover, which I think he fucking knocked it out of the park. He really did. I think he's fantastic. And Ryan is
I appreciate it.
One of those guys, even though I didn't buy it, somebody else bought it for me. But I was going to get it. Looking, guys, you know where to find me on the Instagrams. Now that I'm working, I'm kind of I'm outside the loop. I don't spend all day on the Instagrams and making reels and stuff like that. I'm an adult. It's weird, you know.
Even
but do I look younger?
You do.
Because I shaved, yeah.
I
had a 70s party this past Saturday, so I left the mustache and some button chops.
Not that you look old. By general, you just look younger.
I thought the same thing ish until he said he didn't like Goonies. Then I figured he was like 85 years old.
Right. Yeah, for real. I take it back.
Yeah.
It's like not liking Star Wars.
That was probably the last
because of the Ewoks.
Dan, that was probably the last nail in your fucking coffin.
And that's the last time.
And that's it. But anyways, you can see me once again on I pop up once in a while, maybe on weekends or whatever on Instagram. I still do reels. I still do voiceovers. So, you know, when you guys want a voiceover for a promotion, commercial for your product or whatever it is, talk about this.
Put your voice on my website to buy comics.
Right. New World with Ryan Kincaid. Let's look at that man. Buy his stuff. I gotta tell you guys, this is fun. I love
Did
all
anybody else just not hear that?
I thought he said black man, and that's all I heard. It was like
that's not a good advertisement for you, bro. Try that again a little louder.
You know what? I think this mic is stronger than it really is, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't hear shit. No. All we see is your lips moving and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. Time for a new mic. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so YouTube can pay for this man to get a working mic, or else I'm gonna have to.
That's funny. All right, you know what? I gotta get the fuck out of this world because you guys are just fucking ruining it for me, 100%. Okay. Once again, thanks a lot, guys. Oh, by the way, I will be on Lane Fable on Friday. I had him on my last show last week. He's going to have his podcast on Friday at 9 o'clock, I believe, Eastern on YouTube's. It's Blame Fable and his amazing friends. I will be there. He's so nice, going to have me on, so you're going to see a lot more of this dumbass talking about stuff that just doesn't give a shit. Maybe we'll talk about Goonies. Maybe.
There you go.
And I'm probably going to say, like, I love it. It's great. It's nostalgic. I hope they never remake it. Dumbasses. Okay, guys.
You already
Appreciate
feel you
guys.
shouldn't have said that.
All right. All right, guys. Peace. Appreciate you guys. And we'll see you.